Hey, Grube, mantraining.com. Hey, man, a lot of mental illness out there. A lot more men are mentally ill, in my opinion. If you need beer, drugs, you got a mental illness. You got something going on in your life, and you know what? You can't blame the booze. You can't blame your people in your life. You got to blame yourself. You are the fucking problem. You've always been the problem. You most always will be the problem until you realize that those people out there are not your responsibility. You are to make yourself fucking better. You know, kind of like victim mindset. The victim mindset is also a mental illness because people use it as a fucking way for sympathy. I see it all the time. If you go to a doctor because you cannot fucking handle your own shit, okay? And a lot of people say, well, you can't, that shows strength. Well, if you really fucking need it. But let me ask you a question. Why are you in the situation? Why is your mind in that situation? What brought you to that? Okay? You probably weren't born that way, okay? You probably just don't know how to fucking handle your fucking emotions, okay? And, you know, there's a lot of reasons why people are the way they are, but it's not, most people are not like that because they lost a family member, they lost their fucking child, they lost some. They're like that because they're fucking weak. They're like that because they live lives of fucking an undisciplined type of life. They live their lives through booze, they live their lives through everybody else, whoever they spend times with. They spend their times listening to bullshit. They don't put any good shit in their mind, they don't put good shit in their body, they don't exercise, they don't give themselves a fucking a shot to do better. They don't want it. It's easier to just be shit. It's easier to take a drug. It's easier to do fucking prescription meds. It's easier to fucking drink beer. It's easier to fucking get yourself just all fucking, to just fucking escape reality. Again, it's your fault, okay? And I've said this before. You are your own fucking problems. You've always been. For the most part, men out there make more excuses than fucking women, okay? They're just as sick, they miss as much work, they get the sniffles, they stay home, they fucking cry, they complain, they look for sympathy, and it's a fucking weakness. It's a mental fucking weakness. It's a mental illness, in my opinion. Fucking strengthen up, be fucking more fucking, be a stronger fucking man, okay? We need it. Your family fucking needs it. Nobody wants to see a fucking shell of a fucking little scrawny fucking in a fetal position man crying the fucking blues, because really nobody really does want to hear it, okay? No one wants to hear it. Later.